Background of the study. According to Abbas et al. 2019 and Django 2014, social media has become an essential part of students' daily lives, connecting them with peers, teachers, and information sources. However, studies like Mem et al. 2018 found that excessive use can lead to late submission and decreased study time. In the Philippines, Toz et al. 2021 noted that social media is deeply integrated into students' routines, which can both help and harm academic behavior. In our school, we observe similar patterns. Some students use social media for academic purposes, while others get distracted. Therefore, our study aims to raise awareness about responsible social media use and help students manage their online habit for better academic outcomes.
These parts present the main problem that our research aims to answer. Number 1. To determine the profile of the respondents in terms of age and gender. This helps identify who the respondents are. Age and gender may influence how students use social media and how it affects their students. For example, younger students might spend more time online compared to older ones, or male and female. Students may use social media differently. Knowing their profile helps give context to the result. Number 2. To assess the level of influence of social media on the students in terms of addiction, exposure, and usage behavior. This problem focuses on measuring how much social media affects students' academic behavior. It looks at specific factors like addiction, exposure, and usage behavior. These aspects are important to see if social media is helping or harming their school performance. Number 3. To find out if there is a significant difference in the level of influence of social media on academic behavior when the respondents are grouped according to their profile. This problem examines whether the influence of social media varies depending on the age and gender. It helps the researcher understand if certain groups like younger students or males or females are more affected by social media than others.
For the objective of our study, our general objective is to examine the influence of social media on academic behavior. This main goal serves as the foundation of our research, as we aim to understand how social media affects students' academic performance, habit, and overall behavior in school. And next, our specific objectives are designed to support this main goal. First, we aim to describe the profile of the respondent to better understand the background of the students involved. Second, we seek to measure the influence of social media in terms of addiction, exposure, and usage behavior to see how this factor contribute to academic performance. Lastly, we aim to identify the differences based on profile to determine whether factors such as age, gender, or grade level have an effect on social media influence. These objectives guide our entire research process and ensure that we can gather relevant and measurable data to answer our main research question effectively.
Today, I will discuss the review of related literature. What is social media? Online platforms for communication, self-expression, sharing information. Social media refers to online platforms that enable users to communicate, express themselves, and share information with others. These platforms include applications such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, which are commonly used by students for both academic and personal purposes. Influence of social media. Mixed findings. Some student studies show positive effects, communication, research, mental health awareness. Others show negative effects, distraction, poor habits. That's all. And influence of social media. Studies on the influence social media presents mixed results. On one hand, social media supports communication, promotes mental health awareness, and can serve as a tool for educational research. On the other hand, excessive use can lead to distraction and development of poor study habits. And third is social media on academic performance. Heavy use can harm performance, but it can also improve peer engagement and provide academic resources if used responsibly.
Conceptual framework. We have social media and academic behavior. Social media presents how students use online platforms, and this usage influences their academic behavior, such as how they study, focus, and participate in class. The conceptual framework presents the relationship between social media usage and the academic behavior of grade 12 students at Marigondon National High School, Senior High School. It illustrates that students' engagement with social media, including the time spent online, the type of content accessed, and the purpose of usage, may influence their academic behaviors. These behaviors include study habits, concentration, motivation, and class participation. By understanding this relationship, the study aims to provide insights that can help educators develop effective strategies to support students in managing their social media use and improving their academic performance.
For our research method, we use a quantitative method with a descriptive approach. This method is appropriate because our study aims to describe and measure how social media influences student academic behavior. Using this method allows us to gather numerical data and analyze patterns among the students' responses. Moving on to our research design, we applied a descriptive survey design. This design helped us connect information directly from grade 12 FUME students and present the current situation of their social media usage and academic behavior. Through this, we were able to describe their habits, experiences, and attitudes without manipulating any variables. As mentioned by Subagio 2020, the descriptive methodology focuses on portraying and characterizing the existing condition of a subject. In our case, it helped us understand the students' level of awareness and perception of how social media affects their academic behavior. In short, our chosen method and design allows us to describe the relationships between social media use and academic behavior accurately and objectively.
Good day everyone, my name is 𝒔𝒫𝙗, and I am going to explain the participants in our research. The participants in this research study are grade 12 students from Marigondon Senior High School enrolled in Humanities and Social Sciences (UMSCHAM) during the school year 2025-2026. This study utilized a simple random sampling technique to ensure an inclusive and equitable representation of samples from the general population. Other strands and grade 11 students were excluded from this study. Research instrument. The research instrument we use in this study is a structured survey questionnaire. It is designed to measure various aspects of social media usage and its impact on students' academic performance and behavior. The indicator includes the students' addiction to social media, the students' exposure to social media, and the students' use of social media. To assess the influence of social media on the academic performance of grade 12 UM students, the following 5 orderable gradation with their respective range of means and description were used. We can see it in a table.
So the first thing that we did for our practical research questionnaire, we ensured that the questionnaire that we will use is checked and corrected by our practical research teacher. In order to collect the data, we personally met or went to the classrooms of the selected sections. First, we asked for their consent, ensuring that they were willing to participate in the study. When they agreed, we distributed the questionnaires and assisted them if they had any clarifications. After they finished, we thanked them for their cooperation. To ensure accuracy and fairness, we maintained the anonymity of our respondents, making sure that no names or personal information were recorded. This helped them answer honestly and confidently.
The gathered data were analyzed using descriptive statistical tools such as frequency, percentage, mean, and standard deviation. Frequency and percentage were used to present the respondent's profile, including age, gender, and grade level. This helped the researcher understand the background distribution of the participants. The mean was applied to determine the average level of social media influence on academic behavior in terms of addiction, exposure, and usage behavior. The standard deviation was used to identify the consistency of the responses among the participants. This statistical treatment allowed the researcher to describe patterns and relationship between social media use and academic behavior, addressing each of the study's specific objectives and drawing meaningful conclusions from the collected data.
And next, let me show you the result of survey questionnaire. Team 1, Social Media Addiction. Statement number 1. I feel restless when I cannot access my social media accounts. The weighted mean is 3.54 and the description is neutral. Number 2. I often spend more time on social media than I intend to. The weighted mean is 3.82 and the description is agree. Number 3. I check social media during class hours or while doing academic tasks. The weighted mean is 3.38 and the description is neutral. Number 4. I prioritize social media over school assignments. The weighted mean is 2.36 and the description is disagree. And that's the result of survey questionnaire. The statement 9.36 is likely a type. Weighted mean typically range from 1 to 5. I corrected it to 2.36 as a logical estimate. Overall, weighted mean is 34. Overall, weighted mean is 3.24 and the description is neutral. And lastly, I will discuss the discussion Team 1 Social Media Addiction. The result above show that the overall weighted mean of social media addiction is 3.24, which signifies that students neutrally agree that they check social media during class hours, feel restless spend more time in social media and prioritize social media over school. The findings reveal that the overall weighted mean for social media addiction among students is 3.24, which falls under the neutral category. This suggests that students neither strongly agree nor disagree that they are addicted to social media, but some tendencies are noticeable. Most respondents agreed that they spend more time on social media than intended, 3.83, indicating a lack of time control. However, the item about feeling restless without access to social media was rated as neutral, 3.54, suggesting moderate emotional dependency. Checking social media during class or academic work was also rated as neutral, 3.38, showing that while it occurs, it may not be strong habit. Notably, students disagreed with prioritizing social media or schoolwork, 2.36, which indicates that academic responsibilities still take precedence for many. These results show a moderate level of social media addiction, where students may occasionally misuse social media, but not to the extent that is severely interferes with their academic responsibilities. And that's all.
Good day, everyone. I'm Luis, and today I will be talking about the result of our research, and this is the exposure to social media. And the table 2 shows the extent of social media exposure of senior high school students at Maragondon National High School. And the statement was, I spent more than 3 hours per day on social media, and it has 4.2 weighted mean, and agree on the description. And I use social media as a source of academic information, which has 3.84 weighted mean, and agree on the description. And I follow pages or groups related to my school subjects, which has 3.8 weighted mean, and agree in the description. And I am aware of how often I use social media daily, which has 4.24 weighted mean, and agree on the description, which is the last, but the result was this is the result. The result above shows that the overall weighted mean of exposure to social media is 3.975. The statement I spent on more than 3 hours per day on social media was 4.2 weighted mean, and I use social media as a source of academic information, which has 3.84 weighted mean, and I follow pages or groups related to my school subjects, which has 3.8 weighted mean, and I am aware of how often I use social media daily, which has 4.24 weighted mean, and it has the highest weighted mean, all interpreted as agree.
The results for usage behavior for the students strongly agree, has 4.6 that they use social media to communicate classmates, and for schoolworks that got highest rated behavior of 4.6, and the lowest rated behavior that has 3.8 was for using social media mainly for entertainment, indicating that while entertainment is a factor, it's not the dominant use, while the overall weighted mean across all statements is 4.075, which falls under the agree category. So as we can see the results, senior high school students at Marigundo National High School demonstrate positive usage behavior towards social media, especially in academic-related communication, while entertainment is part of their usage. Educational and collaborative purposes are more prominent.
Results for academic behavior. This table shows the tier of academic behavior of senior high school students at Marigondon National High School. So for the question number 13, it has a weighted mean of 4.0. So for number 14, it has a weighted mean of 4.08. For number 15, it has a weighted mean of 3.5. And lastly, for number 16, it has a weighted mean of 4.08. So, mostly they agree. So the overall weighted mean is 3.915, meaning agree. Students agree that social media has both positive and negative effects, like it distracts them at times, but also helps them academically.
The study on the influence of gadgets and social media on grade 12 young students at Marigundo National High School shows that these tools have both positive and negative effects. Students use them for educational purposes like research, online classes, and communication with peers, but excessive use for gaming and social media can cause distraction and poor time management. The overall effect was found to be moderate, reflecting mixed habit among students. Academic performance depends largely on how responsibly gadgets and social media are used. Therefore, balancing screen time with academic tasks is essential to maximize learning benefits and minimize negative impact.
And lastly, we have recommendations. Based on our findings, we recommend that students should practice proper time management and limit their social media use, especially during study hours, to avoid distraction. For teachers and educators, we suggest promoting digital literacy and responsible social media use in class discussions to help students use this platform productively. We also recommend that parents guide and monitor their children's online activities to ensure that the students or the social media is used for learning rather than distraction. Lastly, we encourage future researchers to explore the long-term effect of social media on students' academic performance as well as its relationship to mental health and peer influence. Overall, responsible and balanced use of social media can turn it from a source of distractions into a powerful tool for learning and academic success.